Welcome back to Performance Tooling Secrets. I'm Mitch Bair, CEO of PT Solutions. And today we're talking about arguably the most productive, but definitely the coolest rough milling process. Plunge milling with indexable plunge mills. Plunge milling flips traditional milling on its head. Instead of side loading the cutter like an end mill, you cut straight down. Plunge, retract, step over, repeat. It's not flashy, but it's incredibly effective. Here's the physics lesson nobody tells you. Your machine is strongest in the Z-axis. Plunge milling produces almost 100% axial load. That's why plunge milling excels in deep pockets, long overhangs, and tough materials. Plunge roughing is widely used for deep cavity roughing and hard materials because of its stability and reduced tool deflection. Indexable plunge mills are built for axial abuse. They have strong insert pockets, small or 0-degree angles, and inserts designed for straight down cutting. The benefits are very high metal removal rates and easy cost control. Chip an insert, rotate it, and keep stomping. That's real shop efficiency. Use plunge milling when side milling chatters no matter what you do. You need long reach, you're roughing deep features, you're cutting stainless, titanium, or superalloys. You don't trust the setup but still need to make parts. This is a roughing strategy, not a finishing move. Yes, it leaves steps. No, that doesn't matter. You're roughing. Now let's talk about where people mess this up. Program. Plunge milling only works if the tool path matches the strategy. Think drilling, not pocketing. You're not clearing material sideways. Your cam tool path should use vertical plunges, limit radial engagement, and maintain step over consistency. Most cam systems have a plunge roughing strategy built specifically for this. If you're forcing 2D pocket tool path to behave like plunge milling, you're doing extra work for worse results. Control your plunge depth. If you're plunging more than 3 times D, don't try to plunge the full depth in one move. Split the plunge depth and maintain consistent engagement. This keeps cutting forces predictable and protects the inserts from recutting chips at the bottom, especially in tough materials. Hero plunges brake tools. Step over is your load control. Your step over controls how much material is left behind and how hard the tool and your machine work. Smaller step over equals lighter load, but more plunges. Larger step over, higher load, but faster roughing. This is where you tune stability versus speed. Watch your chip evacuation. Plunge milling drops chips straight down. Program with radial retracts between plunges. Space for chips to clear. Chip packing kills plunge tools faster than bad feeds. And simulation is your friend here. Use it. Feeds and speeds matter in plunge milling. Plunge mills need load, not sympathy. Feed hard enough to keep inserts cutting. Don't creep. Rubbing destroys edges. Plunge milling leaves a rough surface, requires different programming logic, and isn't ideal for every situation. But when you have a ton of material to remove, it's a great choice. Plunge milling is about respecting physics. Axial load is good, radial load is bad. If your roughing strategy feels like you're daring the machine to fail, you're probably side milling something you should be plunge milling. If you're not sure how to program plunge milling for your parts, your material, or your cam system, call your local PT Solutions rep. We'll help you choose the right plunge mill, the right inserts, and the right tool path. And remember, just because you can side mill it doesn't mean you should. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Performance Tooling Secrets.